What's going on, everybody? It's podcast 1558. We are 2 weeks into the preseason, and we've got some things to talk about. Let's go. Hello, Chiefs Kingdom. This is Billy Truelove with podcast 1558. Justin Herrera and Matt Bird not with me tonight. They are out saving the world, but we still definitely have some things to talk about, breaking down week 2 of the preseason against the Arizona Cardinals. Before we get into everything, quick update. Podcast 1558, we are partnering up with Arrowhead Kingdom. They are a nice group of Chiefs fans that really, the main goal is getting opinions and excitement, doing what we're doing here with as many Chiefs fans from all over the country and the world, and getting their input. So you're not, you go to arrowheadkingdom.org. You're going to get as many different opinions as you want, as they're getting them from different places. We are going to be contributing on there. We will have the guys on our show. We will be on theirs. So that will be a lot of fun. Make sure to check that out, arrowheadkingdom.org. Chiefs came out with a victory, 17-10 on the road in a game that I would love to see in the regular season or in a Super Bowl one day. Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes will certainly bring fireworks in a real game. Certainly was a nice game for the Chiefs. I thought the things I want to talk about that are standing out to me so far in the preseason. One is this offensive line. Got the whole first half of this game. Obviously, all the time they can get together on the field and as real of a game situation as they can get is huge benefit. Huge benefit for them, and it looks like, and I don't want to put too much into this because I get it's preseason, but it really looks like they are coming together quicker than I thought they would. I really, I was really thinking, let's talk about them come week 6, 7, 8, let them warm up, then get into the bye week 12, and come out of that and hope the wheels haven't completely fallen off. I don't think that's going to be the case. They are already putting together looks that I think are different. We've got the cast of that offensive line is going to be able to do just much more schematically than I think some of the just ragtag offensive lines the Chiefs have put together in the past. And I really am just excited to see, with as much RPO, run pass option, as this offense runs. Really cannot wait to see the way this offensive line, with its calls and whatnot, and the schemes it's running throughout the game, are going to be able to open things up and make things a little more difficult for a defense to make its decision pre-snap. I really think they look great. They really know how to get in front of a screenplay as well. Those little short screens to some dangerous players that we have in that backfield. Clyde, Darrell, and Jerick McKinnon, all three of them, I think, are going to be contributors in the pass game. I'd like to see it be primarily Clyde, because I think he just has the most upside of all three of them. He can just do so much with the ball in his hand. But Darrell Williams obviously knows this offense in and out. He's a safe bet with the ball in his hand. I don't want to knock him at all. And Jerick McKinnon, the new guy, who, as we've talked about, is a dude that the San Francisco 49ers paid a ton of money to, and he got hurt immediately. So that project went south for them after a couple seasons. But he is not some bum that we went and found. He's a legit running back that earned his money that San Francisco paid him during his time in Minnesota. That's how we got here with him, and I really hope we're getting the Minnesota version of Jerick McKinnon, because he is a very quick player that will definitely put his body in there and keep things going. against the big dudes in the second level of a defense when he's got the ball in his hand, especially in a screen situation. He can be dangerous. I will have to take an L. It was a long shot guess that I was making here. If you were watching a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago or now, we talked about the wide receiver position group, and I really thought, as much as Chiefs Kingdom is such a big fan of Byron Pringle, and I wasn't saying that I'm not a fan of him, I just thought there was an outside chance that he may not make the team, strictly based off of production that, it's an opportunity offense, and you're not going to get very many opportunities if your name isn't Kelsey or Tyreek Hill in the passing game. And he's definitely going to make the team. I think that is more than obvious at this point. Demarcus Robinson may have some more problems on his hands than anybody. But Byron Pringle has looked very sharp in this preseason, and with Tyreek not playing this past weekend, it gave him some opportunities. He looked especially good with Chad Henne on the field, and if Chad Henne can make you look good, you know what Patrick Mahomes can do. I think he is definitely safe based off what I was saying a few weeks ago, so I'll take that L. Pringle led this receiving corps this last weekend with 4 grabs for 63 yards. Like I said, he looked good. He definitely took advantage of his opportunities that he got. He had 5 targets on 4 catches. That's great. He had a nice long of 41 yards, and he's definitely ready to be this second, third receiver. Obviously, I mean, our second receiver situation is just unlike most because Travis Kelce is the true 1B receiver on this team. But McCole Hardman coming around, 4 grabs for 39 yards and a very pretty touchdown. Hard grab he had to make in the back of the end zone from Chad Henne. You can't be mad about it. I am been very critical of McCole Hardman. I just get extremely frustrated with him. And I'm definitely not the only one. I mean, we've gone our whole lives without a talent like Patrick Mahomes. We've got him here. We're done with, the bullshit. Be ready. Take the offseason serious. And, let's get these rings while we can. Is he taking it serious in the offseason? I still can't necessarily say he's going above and beyond, but had a nice little slant route from Pat early on in the game. An RPO scenario that was set up came out of Pat's hand real quick. Those are the things that need to be just the easy things that this offense does, and as long as he's not putting those on the ground like we've seen him do, I think he'll be fine. He's a dangerous player. 8 targets, 4 grabs, 39 yards and a touchdown. Well, we'll see. Like we've said, this is make or break for him. I hope he has a Chiefs Hall of Fame season this year, because if he becomes one of the better number 2 receivers in football, we won't lose any games. I don't want to sound crazy, but he isn't on the same planet as Tyreek Hill. And that makes things just very, very difficult when we're talking about what this offensive line has done. But I won't go on that. He had a sharp game. He had a sharp game this past weekend, and that's good for him. The offense in general, I thought looked fine. Clyde out there, I don't think the injury is anything to worry about. He has been a full participant in practice since that injury took place, so we should be seeing Clyde fire on all cylinders come week 1 against Cleveland on September 12th. The 2 guys I want to talk about on the defensive side of the ball, obviously there's a lot of names that should be getting focused on right now. It is the preseason. Who's going to make the team, who's not, but the only thing I've really given a damn about this offseason and this preseason with this defense is Chris Jones. He has played damn near 100% of the time on the outside. And I think that is partially because of Frank Clark's injury and because this is the time. He doesn't need practice playing inside. And another reason, we're seeing him a lot outside right now. If you did not hear, the Chiefs did release Taco Carlton, who's been played outside for the Kansas City Chiefs last season until he was hurt, and it doesn't seem he's gotten right since that injury. Amongst the other depth of talent on this line, young talent, and now with Chris Jones being able to be this hybrid D lineman, I think that is what spelled the end for him. And I'm a Taco fan, so I hope he does land on his feet. But we do need to make sure we're making the right decision with him playing outside, and he has delivered. I fear, he did have a nice sack. He gets while playing outside, and I wonder if it's just going to be natural to him. He gets this sack by taking his leverage and playing inside. He isn't going to be, I don't think, that traditional pass rusher on the edge that uses speed to get outside and around that left tackle. DJ Humphries is a very, very good left tackle, and I thought he made him look like a kid. So it really doesn't matter how you do it if you're getting to the quarterback, but playing on that edge, if you don't have the speed and the right technique to get outside, there's other ways that we can get burnt. We'll definitely see what their plan is when the season begins, what they really want to do with him. But getting that Derek Nottie back, getting Jaron Reed on this field, if they can stop the run like this defense has done so far in this preseason, I hate saying 20-0 over and over again, but damn it, this defense has been, even though it has gotten better since the arrival of Spagnuolo, it's still been kind of, what's holding us back. We know this is the best offense in football, and that's not our defense's fault, but that's just the way it is. And when you have the best offense in football, you're not going to look at them to be the reason. Now in the Super Bowl, you can say that our offensive line and the issues our offense had were the problem, but we won't say that our defense is what got us to the Super Bowl. So, we'll see. But I do think that narrative is going to change this season. This defense is, man, it's hard to say, but I do think this defense is going to be legit. If we could just creep inside the top 10 in the NFL defensively, we would be such a balanced team. The offense is going to become more of a clock eater with this offensive line. I think we're going to be able to do so much more. That keeps the defense fresh and things like that. I think this team is going to be working together better than it has since Pat started in 2018, which how that went. It was all gas and no brakes and not being able to stop anybody. 2019, things started to click. Last year, same page. This is the year I think we see a big step forward for this defense, and it will pay. It will pay very big for this team as a whole. The other guy that it was really one big play, one wow play that everyone's going to remember. Juan Thornhill with a ridiculous interception in the end zone. Just seeing him out there getting ready. We've talked about this. He was banged up, even though he played in the Super Bowl 6 months ago. They've been trying to slowly bring him on and give him more and more time in these preseason games. My money would still say Dan Sorensen is the guy that starts next to Tyrann Mathieu when the season begins. But whatever the case, Juan Thornhill being on the field, I think, is a good thing for this defense as a whole, and he is definitely starting to find himself. And if he starts playing at the level that the steal of the draft is what he was labeled when Brett Veach drafted him a few seasons ago. That is that's the label that was getting put on him, and we haven't gotten that type of production out of him. But it's certainly there. I think he definitely has the ability. We'll see. This defense and the upfront performance of this defense is certainly going to help that secondary as a whole, including Juan Thornhill. Last thing I want to touch on is the tight end position here. We've got 4 of them right now, and I don't believe Andy will keep 4 tight ends. So right now, Travis Kelce, obviously, he's in. I think just strictly because he was a draft pick this year, Noah Gray is safe. Blake Bell, who is really not the fan favorite right now, sort of the boring option versus Jordy Forston. Who do you think stays here? Based on play, really seems like Forston has earned his way onto this field. He's got that body type that is a contested catch type of dude that can get out there and he's showing that he can do some blocking as well. I really think it's going to be Kelce, Gray, and Forston when it's all said and done. Could be wrong on that. I do think Blake Bell is a read guy. Just a no-nonsense type of tight end that can come in and do more dirty work, which really is what we need from a tight end while Kelce's here. Noah Gray needs to develop into a playmaker, but we have that playmaker on the field right now, and I don't want to be putting Gray in over Kelce in any passing situations right now. So that's that for me. The odd man out is Blake Bell. All right, guys, that's everything. Like I said, keeping it short and sweet tonight. Make sure to follow us, 1558 on Facebook and Twitter. Go follow and like those pages, and we will certainly be out here. It's going to get a lot more fun once this regular season begins, which it will be soon. We're going to have guests on from podcast guests from the enemy, the opposing team, and have them come on here and debate and talk shit and then send them on their way. All right, guys, for Matt Bird and Justin Herrera, I'm Billy Truelove. This is Podcast 1558. Go Chiefs.